We are live.
Oh my God, this is weird. I can see myself on my phone. And okay.
So
Really do not do enough. I don't usually watch myself in real time when I do Facebook Live. So
and it on to the Influencer magazine. So here we are with Leanne Venier, and we are going to be discussing the most amazing array of quantum science and neuroscience and light therapy and color healing and immune boosting.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Fun, fantastic topic, especially for this time. And I'm just going to quickly share it to Influencer magazine so that those who know that that's where we'll be. There we go. It's sometimes easier to find if they don't know me. So I'm done. Have you posted on your side, Leanne?
I did. Yes.
Yay. Good.
Oh, it's presumably on my wall. But it's fine.
While you're there, let's make sure all your viewers and your fans can see you.
Okay.
All of my pages.
Let me also share it into my group. Group. There you go.
Ask your questions.
Okay, happening now. Here we are. People are like, are you guys gonna start talking? You're just gonna look at your phones the whole time.
All right, so
it's technology. Sometimes it's not as fast as we want it to be.
Sometimes it's not as fast, you're right.
Or it's a little finicky.
So there we go. And I'm going to do some extra sharing here. But us, Leanne, what have you got planned for us today?
So I'm going to be sharing a bunch of very simple immune boosting tips and some things that people may or may not be aware of as far as staying healthy and easy ways to do that instead of thinking it's so complicated and really it's not. So I have a list. I always have a list. I have a list. I'm going to be sharing with you a list of very simple things you can do.
Fantastic.
I have to have some coffee. Now, what is your beverage there, Joe, in that coffee mug?
I've got coffee and it's got a little bit of cinnamon on top. So that's
really, so we're both drinking coffee. Okay. That's yes. A nice mug.
Wine nearby, so I'll move on to that just now, but I needed an extra energy boost because, you know, this is late for me. Otherwise, I know.
Yeah, I know. 8 o'clock your time and 11 a.m. my time. And I'm not a super early bird person, so I go to bed very late. And you're more of you get up early, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're kind of like on the polar opposites. Okay, so anyway, my name is Leanne Venier. Did we say who I was?
We didn't say some more. We didn't say.
All right, I'll just give a brief intro. So I teach about the science behind the healing effects of color, light therapy, sunlight, energy medicine. And I get invited to lecture at major medical universities, international medical conferences, other health conferences, that sort of thing. I've been teaching about this for over 14 years now, validating light therapy as a viable science-based healing modality. So now that part has really taken off since you hear about light therapy everywhere now, or at least a lot of people. It's hard to have not heard about it. So now I'm educating people more about the quantum healing aspects and the importance of healing at the root of illness and disease and treating and healing the energy body, not just treating the physical body and the physical symptoms. And Western medicine is based in the chemistry model, which is all about manipulating chemistry or attempting to manipulate chemistry through pharmaceuticals and drugs. And if you really want to heal the body, you have to focus on the quantum physics aspects and the energy body, which is upstream from the physical body. So things happen, get disrupted in the energy body first before they start manifesting in the physical body. So you can completely reverse literally anything if you treat the root of the problem. And my background, I used to be a mechanical engineer designing submarines for Lockheed. I left that, moved to Italy for 7 years, spent all those 7 years studying all these alternative healing modalities, starting with herbology and moving up into subtle energy and pranotherapy, energy medicine, and everything in between. Also psychology, the root of illness, psychological root, mind-body connection. Came back to the United States, went back to school for acupuncture and Zen Shiatsu, had a healing practice up in British Columbia, working with cancer patients, then came back to the States. And that was when I started painting as a creative outlet, and that just took off. I became a professional artist, and it was through the paintings and the colors in the paintings that people would have very strong responses to that I started sharing this information about how I can diagnose what's going on with you based on the colors that you're really drawn to. So so people would tell me, you know, what color that they were really attracted to in my paintings, and I would say, oh, well, if you're really drawn to that color, you may have this going on in your body and this going on in your life. And every time they'd be like, oh my God, that's exactly what's going on in my body and my life. How do you know that? So then people kept pestering me to share some of this information, put it on my website, write a book. I still haven't written the book, but anyway, I do a lot more in video format because I'm very good at talking a lot. So anyway, so that's how it all started. And then I started teaching about, you know, using color, light, and the importance of sunlight for maintaining optimal health, and also the healing energies in nature. What really caught on was not so much the enlightenment and consciousness and that sort of thing, but the light therapy component, because I presented hard science, and there's tons of it, to, you know, validate that these are actual viable healing, it's a viable healing modality, and why and how it works. And I explained the physics and the science in really simple, plain simple English, so that anybody can understand it. So yeah, and now I'm explaining to people again about the energy body and the Eastern medicine aspect, but going well beyond what people are typically trained in the traditional Chinese medicine schools these days, because they don't learn most of the stuff that I share and all the research that I've done. It's become a little bit more of a westernized model where they're learning how to diagnose and then treat symptoms. So and that's what traditional Chinese medicine does mean. It means it's the post-communist model of Chinese medicine. So they've gotten rid of all of the energetic aspects and the psycho-emotional root of illness and disease and that sort of thing. So I wanted to bring that back, because that's gotten more and more eliminated, and people need to understand how to recognize what's gotten out of balance, where it started, and then you can literally heal and reverse anything. Unlike you know, what Western medicine will try to tell you, that no, you have to take this pill for the rest of your life, or you have to have the surgery on a perfectly good body part that's just not getting the energy that it needs right now. So immune boosting is one component that everybody's kind of interested in right now because of, you know, the pandemic situation. And so I just wanted to share some simple tips about how to keep your energy body nice and strong and your physical body nice and strong, and the importance of addressing both of those. Okay, that was my intro. How many minutes did that last? So where shall we start?
Wow. I think that we've got the most amazing stuff to cover, and we're all so excited. Where do you want to start?
Okay, well, I mean, for me, everything starts with the healing energies of sunlight and nature. So, and a lot of times people are overlooking those two very important things, and they're focusing on, oh, now I need to take this supplement, I need to do that, I need to get, you know, whatever food in their diet or whatever thing, but it's very chemistry focused, and it's very thinking about chemicals and trying to manipulate chemistry in the body. And really, the chemistry happens all downstream from what's happening in the energy body. So if you give the body the healing energies that it needs from sunlight and nature, and then obviously good healthy food, then everything is going to take care of itself. So, and detoxifying the body. I'll go through a list. I'll talk about the, so first of all, sunlight is one of the, you know, probably the thing that I've been teaching about for, like I said, 14 years, but well before that, but I mean, you know, globally teaching about it. And why you need to get sunlight, because it's not just the UV benefits. You know, we know that UVB creates vitamin D in the skin. If you get sun on your skin, And if your skin is working properly, as we discussed last time, if the skin is getting the energy that it needs, it's going to create copious amounts of vitamin D, which is a very important hormone that is responsible for literally every cellular process in the body and boosting immune function. So now, in the last few weeks, I've been really, talking about, the importance of vitamin D for staying healthy and beating COVID-19. It's important all the time. It's not just important for, immune function. It's important for everything. So keeping your vitamin D levels optimized is very important. Unfortunately, a lot of people, we've been conditioned for the last few decades, several decades, to believe that getting sun on your body will give you cancer, but really it's the opposite that's true. Avoidance of sunshine is directly proportional to your probability of dying from anything. So the less sunshine you get, the more likely you are to die of anything. This has been scientifically researched many times, not just one study. So, and it's not just the vitamin D effect. So, and we do know that lower vitamin D levels increase probability of heart disease and cancer and all kinds of things. So again, it's a very important hormone. You can take, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying both issues, autoimmune disease issues, everything.
Yes, everything. Yeah, and it's been directly linked. Low levels of vitamin D have been directly linked with all of this stuff. But as I was saying, avoidance of sunshine has been directly linked with all of these things, and not necessarily just the vitamin D component. So there's a lot more to sunshine than just the UV, UVA, UVB. The UVB is what creates the vitamin D. If you get UVA and UVB together, your body creates a lot more vitamin D. So again, getting the whole formulation in the sunshine aspect is better than trying to take, like a UVB lamp and make vitamin D that way. It's like you actually get a lot more when you get the UVA and the UVB together. So there are aspects of sunlight that work synergistically together. So, and it's not just, like I said, it's not just the UV. So I always use my handy dandy rainbow to explain this, that these colors are found within sunshine all the time. So the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet that you see whenever there's a rainbow in the sky, the only time you see the color split up like this is when there are these water droplets left in the atmosphere. And that's what causes that prism, that Newton prism effect, where the water droplets reflect and refract the white light coming through the water droplets, and then they split up into the 7 spectral colors. So that's why you see this rainbow effect. But these colors are always in the white light that is found in sunshine. You just happen to be seeing them split up here. So it's like people think, it's, we're getting all these colors with the rainbow. The colors are always there. When you add all of those colors together, they turn into white light. If you watch any of my talks, I have imagery, and I show when you put these colors together at a minimum, red, green, and blue, which is used in all of our LED screens, that creates white light. So when you have RGB screens, LED is all our LED screens make all the colors by using just 3 colors, red, green, and blue. So you need those at a minimum to be able to make all the other colors. But in sunlight, we're getting red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet all the time. Every single one of these frequencies or wavelengths, same idea, just a different word for it, they all have different healing properties. Well, a lot of them, there's a lot of overlap with them. So you'll have a range of wavelengths that will do this, and they may also do this, this, and this, and a range of wavelengths that will do that. So a lot of times people get all caught up and it has to be this particular number. No, it has to be within that range. And then there are optimal numbers within that range for doing certain things. And then when you combine them together, synergistically, they're even more powerful. So, and like I said, getting UVB by itself, yes, it creates vitamin D in the skin. When you get it together with UVA, it's much more, it creates a lot more vitamin D. And of course, the important thing is you don't want to put sunscreen on your body until you have that minimum daily requirement. So you have to get your minimum RDA of sunshine directly on your skin before you put on, ideally, a non-toxic, non-nanoparticle zinc oxide sunscreen, because a lot of sunscreens become carcinogenic when they're exposed to sunshine, which is very ironic. But and a lot of people don't know that. So they're slathering all this stuff on them. I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to get cancer. It's like, well, the stuff you're putting on your skin is probably going to give you cancer more than the sun will. So anyway, and when you put that stuff on, then you're blocking the healing rays of sunshine. And you can put a non-toxic sunscreen on after you've had your minimum daily requirement. So the other video that we did, I go into detail about that, right? So I want to focus on the benefits of all of these things for boosting immune function. Otherwise, we'll be here for, how long did we talk last time? 2.5 hours or something.
We're getting lots of loves up our street.
Oh, good. That's good. Good when people express their love. You're sharing helpful information for them. Okay, so not just the physical benefits of vitamin D, like I said, all of these other benefits, you know, and again, I'll be talking about different ones, but you know, in red, near infrared, you know, those have kind of really caught on as far as the healing benefits and the mitochondrial stimulation of those particular wavelengths. There's a lot more. It's not just the red and near infrared that have these healing benefits. It's all of the wavelengths. It's just that from my teachings, when I was presenting the research, I had a huge chunk of research that was done around red and a fairly good chunk around blue. So those were the two that really caught on. And then everybody kind of latched on to, oh, this whole, you know, aspect of the healing benefits of red and near infrared. So that's, again, what really took off. But there are equal benefits to all of the other colors. And we're not going to talk about all of that. We can talk about that another time when we go and break down the individual colors. But so the other thing that sunshine is very good for it with regards to boosting immunity is it's a very strong anti-stressor, anti-anxiety, and antidepressant. Go ahead.
Getting messages that nobody can hear our sound.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys hearing our sound? Can somebody there? Well, we've got 7 people watching right now, and we had 8 a minute ago. I don't think that it could all be no sound. Are people getting sound on Facebook? Can you let us know?
We'll just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hear us? Let me turn up my volume on my phone.
Maybe it was just a glitch because I've now got this person saying they can hear, so it's fine. Sorry about that.
I just checked on my phone. I turned up the volume, and yes, it is good. Oh, Micah, thank you. The sound is perfect. If I start looking at messages, I'll like completely lose my train of thought. And you've seen me, I already go off on tangents all the time. So we don't want me doing that. So when I do my creative, my certified practitioner training sessions, I tell people, it's like, don't try chatting with me. It's like, you have to come and turn on your audio if you want to ask a question, because there's no way I can be managing the chat and the talking and sharing all this information and trying to read your questions. So I'm usually, So yeah, I'm not going to look at that, but yes, I was getting audio. So the other thing, the depression, anxiety, anti-stress aspects of sunshine, it's been scientifically researched that it's a more effective antidepressant than antidepressant drugs. So people are taking all these medications, which then are designed intentionally to make you addicted to them. So once you start taking an antidepressant, it's very hard to get off of them. You really have to do it in a very controlled way and wean yourself, or work with your doctor to wean yourself. So it's better to, use the healing energies and sunshine in nature to not need that chemical manipulation. Some people, if they're that extreme, then that can help to give them enough time to come back into balance naturally. But you always want to address these problems at the root. So if you have to take a medication, then take it for as long as but work, to bring your body back into balance and get rid of the drug. So because the drug is going to cause new problems. So let's see, the antidepressive aspects, again, of boosting immunity, the sleep benefits of getting blue light during the day. It's very important to get blue light. A lot of people have demonized blue light. Again, I started teaching about way before this was known publicly about these blue light photoreceptors. It was brand new research. It had just come out and it hadn't really gotten much exposure when the tablets started coming out and people started getting insomnia. That's what I was like, what's going on here? Why are so many people telling me they're getting insomnia since they got their iPad? Because it wasn't happening with the Kindles, which were the e-ink technology, which doesn't emit blue light. It's not a backlit technology. It's a black versus gray, completely different technology with no backlighting. So they weren't getting blasted with light using the first Kindles. But as soon as the iPad started coming out, people started telling me, it's like, God, I can't, like, I got an iPad and now I'm like up all night. I can't go to sleep. So I started digging and come to find out that we have these blue light photoreceptors in our eyes, and that they are tuned to a specific band of wavelengths, not just one, but a whole band of wavelengths between blue and blue-green that correlate with the color of blue sky. So when we see those wavelengths, it tells our body it's the middle of the day, shut off melatonin production, because we should be awake in the middle of the day. We should not be sleeping in the middle of the day. The problem is that these photoreceptors cannot distinguish between natural frequencies of blue light coming from sunlight versus artificial frequencies of, LED or any other light bulb, incandescent light bulb, which all have blue light in them, because you can't have white light without blue light. Another misconception that people think, oh, incandescent's better because, it doesn't stimulate. It's like every white light has blue light in it by definition. We need the blue light though during the day. It sets our circadian rhythm. If you don't have the blue light during the day and then stop exposing yourself to it at night, your body has no clue what time it is. So the blue light communicates, via the photoreceptors in our eyes to the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain and the pineal gland, and that's what controls our circadian rhythm. So when we get blue light during the day, we feel sleepy at night, as long as you're not continuing to expose yourself to blue light or white light, which has blue light in it, or your LED screens, which have a high percentage of blue light coming through them. So it's having this knowledge. But again, getting the sunlight during the day, you're going to get the blue light that you need. Don't wear blue light blockers during the day. That's another thing. People that are selling these blue light blockers, oh, you need to block the blue light. No, not during the day. Don't be blocking the blue light. Take precautions so you're not getting blue light blasted into your eyes like I did, and I burned out my retinas, but then I completely healed them with the rejuvenator. So I learned the hard way, because your cell phone, if you're like this all the time, you're getting a lot of blue light into your eyes, and blue light, strong blue light, can be harmful to the retina. So as can blue-green light. So anyway, that's another benefit of the sunlight, setting your circadian rhythm, improving your sleep at night. So all of the things that I'm talking about, the rejuvenator, for people when they don't have the option to do these things that we should be doing on a daily basis, the rejuvenator, which is a light therapy and quantum healing light device that I designed, developed, invented 3.5 years ago, launched it 3.5 years ago. This has all of the things that I'm going to be talking about. This can do also. So there's a sleep protocol for putting you to sleep at night. It actually stimulates melatonin production. You do it at night before you go to bed. There's an anti-depression, anti-stress, anti-anxiety protocol. It's extremely effective. It doesn't boost vitamin D, well, that we know of. It has all of these other benefits for moderating and changing hormonal, like excess, thyroid, hypothyroid, deficient melatonin levels, testosterone levels. So all of these things that we've actually had scientifically tested, where people have done befores and afters. So it directly affecting all kinds of hormones in the body and bringing them back into balance, whether they're in excess or deficient. So, but I'm going to talk about the things that you can do if you don't have a rejuvenator, and if you do. So I'm going to kind of make two different suggestions. When you can't get out in sunshine and you're stuck indoors, and maybe you're in an office and you don't have time, you have a break or something like that, you go outside during your breaks, have your lunch outdoors if you can. Get as much of that exposure to sunshine as you can, even if it's through your eyes or on your body, because it's all going to have healing benefits. Of course, everything in moderation. If you're very fair skinned, you're not going to want to burn, so don't overdo it. But there are ways to protect yourself, but you get all kinds of benefits just from going out during the daytime, even if it's a cloudy day, even if it's overcast. It will be, I tell people, do this little experiment. Go from being indoors with all of your lights turned on inside your house, and then, you know, in the middle of the day, or even late morning, early afternoon, whatever, go outside, and you'll see that even with all of your lights on in your house, where you think it's really bright in here, you go outside, it's much brighter, even when it's overcast and cloudy, unless it's like, you know, really black skies. But that's how much more light you get when you're outdoors versus indoors. And it's obviously natural, healthy sunshine light. So, do you have a question, Joe? I'll just keep going.
Been talking,
jump in every once in a while.
We've been talking a lot, and I think it would be great for people to understand what melatonin does. Besides help to reset your ability to sleep, it's also amazing antidepressant and all the rest, right?
Yes, and a very important antioxidant in the body. So there's been research done that when people have cancer, when they have deficient melatonin levels, that's when the cancer can grow out of control. They've actually increased melatonin, and then the cancer starts dying off. So when your melatonin levels are, and again, it's an important hormone. It's, again, not just responsible for sleep. It has this very strong antioxidant aspect where it's keeping your body healthy. So our body we're always getting cancer cells. I mean, everybody, it's something, you know, like something that forms in the body, and then a healthy immune function will kill it before it, you know, get rid of those cells. They're mutant cells. The body will get rid of them before they can proliferate and turn into a tumor. But when the body's not getting the energy that it needs, it's out of balance, it's not producing the hormones. Again, this is, you know, from the chemistry aspect, but it's upstream from there where things get out of whack. Again, you know, why are the melatonin levels low? Well, because if you're exposed to blue light all day long, blue light in your, you know, artificial lighting in your office or being outdoors, but then the problem isn't the daytime blue light, unless it's too much of it and you're getting it right blasted in your eyes from your electronic devices. It's that you keep getting blue light at night. So your blue light exposure should drop off as soon as it hits dusk. And that's where there are these programs, you know, like Flux for computers. They're now pretty much all the smartphones and tablets have a night mode. So it will eliminate the blue light exposure, dramatically reduce it. So technology evolves as science becomes, you know, more known. And that's why I started teaching about this. It's like, you know, because back then, all the cell phones just had very bright blue light, you know, blue tinted light. So when you cut out the blue, the whole color palette changes. So you reduce the amount of blue light exposure, and then you're not getting bombarded with this blue light. That's telling your body shut off melatonin production. Again, very important hormone and antioxidant. And it's all directly correlated with all kinds of things and serotonin production, melatonin serotonin relationship. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that because we can go off down a whole rabbit hole with that. But so that's where the depression comes in. And some mood cycles and all kinds of things, PMS and all kinds of things have been directly correlated with that. So very important to have healthy melatonin levels. So again, and the Rejuvenator does that. It boosts the melatonin levels by doing the sleep protocol at night. So and during the day, we're getting this high percentage of blue light, you know, but what happens is at night, as the sun is setting, and at dawn, when the sun is coming up, we get a predominance of red, orange, and yellow wavelengths coming through the atmosphere, the thicker atmosphere, because they're longer wavelengths, and only the red, orange, and yellow can come through when the sun is lower on the horizon. As the sun gets higher up in the sky, then the blue, green, violet, they start, indigo violet, they start coming through, and that's when the sky then, you know, goes from red, orange, yellow at dawn. It starts becoming more and more blue, 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 and then red, orange, yellow again until the sun sets. And again, because we've got all these wavelengths that are always in sunlight, and some of them come through more strongly at different times of day. So the thing about where people are like, oh, well, you should get sun in the morning, or you should be before 10 and after 2, or, you know, because a lot of this is old information. It's like, no, really, you need to get sunlight throughout the day. You need it. It's like, you know, the multivitamin effect, where you're getting the sampler plate. I need some in the morning. I need some in the late morning. I need some in midday. I need some, you know, because we used to be out in nature all the time. We used to get sunlight all day long, and then we'd be indoors, and then you've got candlelight at night, red, fire, you know, at night, red, after the setting sun. So we naturally start to get sleepy when we see red at night. So, and again, with the Rejuvenator, when you put it directly on your body at night, it literally stimulates melatonin production. So for people that are really deficient, including elderly people. But you can use sunshine to do that also. So it takes a little while for your body to retrain. Not that long. Actually, they've done research where when people go out and they're camping and they get in sync with the cycles of nature, it takes less than a week. I believe it's 4 days to fully get back into sync with nature. But again, no electronics, no artificial light that's throwing off your circadian rhythm, where you're just going with the cycles of nature. I've talked about the importance of, you know, following those cycles of nature for triggering flow state. If you want to do it naturally, I also teach people how to get into flow at will, which is the zone. But again, I could go off on all kinds of tangents. I'm going to try to stay focused because I'm only on step 1 so far.